Now we have this video clip here of Maurice Hilleman. This is from a Boston PBS station. It's a bad internet copy. We're going to try to send off the original. But there's also been books written on this subject where he's making jokes about the SV40 in the polio vaccine and what it did. Here's that clip.
Well, I got an invitation from the Sister Kinney Foundation, which was the opposing foundation, and that was the live virus.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they had jumped on Sabin's bandwagon. And they had asked me to come down and give a talk at the Sister Kinney Foundation meeting. And I said, it was an international meeting. I thought, God, what am I going to talk about? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about the detection of non-detectable viruses as a topic. So now I got to have something, that's going to attract attention. So I thought, gee, that damn SV40, that vacculating agent that we have, I'm going to just pick that particular one. That virus has got to be in vaccines, and it's got to be in Sabin's vaccine, so I quickly tested it. Sure enough, it was in there. And
I'll be damned.
So now, so I go ahead and...
So you just took stocks of Sabin's vaccine off the shelf here at Merck?
Yeah, well, it had been made at Merck. It was made at Merck.
You were making it for Sabin at this point?
Yeah, it was made before I came.
Yeah, but at this point, Sabin is still just doing these massive field trials. Okay.
In Russia and so forth. So I go down, I talked about the detection of non-detectable viruses. And I told Albert...
But at this point, Sabin is still just doing these massive field trials. Okay.
In Russia and so forth. So I go down... I talked about the detection of non-detectable viruses. And I told Albert, I said, listen, Albert, I said, you and I are good friends. But I said, I'm going to go down there and you're going to get upset. But I'm going to talk about a virus that's in your vaccine. Now, you're going to get rid of the virus. Don't worry about it. You're going to get rid of it. But, so of course, Albert was very upset with me.
What did he say?
Well, he said basically that this is just another obfuscation that is going to upset vaccines. And I said, well, you're absolutely right. But I said, we have a new era here. We have a new era of a detection. And the important thing is to get rid of these viruses.
Why would he call it an obfuscation if it was a virus that was contaminating the vaccine?
Because, there are 40 different viruses in these vaccines anyway that we were inactivating. And...
But you weren't inactivating his, though.
That's correct. No, that's right. But yellow fever vaccine had leukemia virus in it, and this is in the days of very crude science. So anyway, I went down and talked to him, and Albert said, well, why are you concerned about it? I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, I have a feeling in my bones that this virus is different. I don't know why to tell you this, but I've been around biology a long time. I just think this virus may have some long-term effects. And he said, what? I said, well, cancer.
I love it. I love it. Go ahead.
No. I said, Albert, you probably think I'm nuts, but I just have that feeling. Well, in the meantime, we had taken this virus and put it into hamsters. So we had this meeting, and that was sort of the topic of the day, and the jokes that were going around was, gee, we would win the Olympics because the Russians would all be loaded down with tumors. This is where the vaccine was being tested. This was
right. Right.
So, and it really destroyed the meeting. It was a big international.
Yeah, right.
So it was sort of a topic.
Why didn't this get out in the press?
Well, I guess it did. I don't remember. We had no press release on it. Obviously, you don't go out. This is a scientific affair within the scientific community.
Tested on the Russians, deployed on the American people. And you heard him, 40 plus from the medical doctors we've had on. They're putting similar stuff in the modern vaccines. I wish it was an accident. You heard him joking about how it was a big joke that people were dying from this, and the Russians will be so loaded down with tumors, we'll beat them at the Olympics. This was on the big PBS station in Boston. This is supposedly funny. This is very hilarious. This is psychopathic control freaks, a scientific dictatorship who think they're God. It's eugenics. just like the current White House science czars to sterilize people with their food and water. The Rockefeller Foundation documents we've shown you, all of them. The Planned Parenthood documents we showed you last week, where they said, you know, it's about reducing population. And even if you believe the population is too high, whatever, jacking people's vaccines full of stuff that gives them a degenerative, horrible death later, this is the biggest issue. And again, the book is Dr. Mary's Monkey that gets into a lot of facets of this, and we're going to continue to cover it from different angles, do a special coming up in the next few weeks, maybe even get Edward T. Haslam to come here to town. I know he's come and spoken at some of the local bookstores here in town, and so perhaps we can get him here to town and do a special on that.